night was a lot.
It was.
It was a lot, and it was unexpected. Give me your initial thoughts about last night.
My initial thoughts when I first came down the elevator, I was shocked. I knew that the community was coming out, but I didn't know that they were coming out like that. Rude, loud, disrespectful. We haven't even took our seats yet, and they were cussing and yelling in the hallway. Some of them was even fighting in the hallway way before we took our seats.
So even when you all got in there, there was still a long line of people. What do you think about the 56 people plus who got up with the public comment basically against the school board? I didn't recall there were maybe two comments that I heard that was like, let's stick to the kid stuff. Let's get down to the real business.
Right.
But the other people were just basically in criticism of how the school board is moving in this season. What is your reaction to that?
Most of the constituents that spoke last night don't even watch the school board meetings. They barely come here. I've never seen probably half of them that spoke last night. From my understanding, it was staged, and it was staged to integrate the board, to disrespect us, to tell us that we're not doing our jobs. And I think that for the community to come out and act like that, it went national, that we can't behave. And to see our leaders, Sarah Carpenter, our county commissioners, Brittany Thornton, cussing, yelling at us, that was disrespectful. It was distasteful, and that's not how we should behave.
So you said half of the people there don't go to the school board meetings. Well, if they don't go to the school board meetings, they still want Superintendent Feagins. When you heard them people say, we want Feagins, we stand with Feagins, what is your thoughts about that? Because, again, last night, you all were still adamant before the motion came to the table that you all were going to vote.
Right. Everybody has their opinion, Roz. And we have to respect their opinions. But that's them talking on one side. I used to be on that side of the fence, and I used to be vocal too, but not vocal to that magnitude. But when you're on the other side of the fence, which I am now, I see something different. We have contracts that have not been signed, still not signed. We have programs that Dr. Feagins has canceled, and we have nothing else in place. We have conversations with Dr. Feagins, and she does not communicate with us. That is some of the reasons why she is insubordinate. Because we have talked to Dr. Feagins over and over. I can show you 5 or 6 emails that I have communicated with her about communicating with me. And she never responded. That's insubordination by itself. In fact, that is a violation of Teachers Tenure Act, which is TCA 49-5-501, insubordination.
Wow. She spoke nothing but the truth. The voters need to think about voting a new school board members during the election that are not afraid to support the new superintendent. Do you think you all are supporting the new superintendent?
We try to support the new superintendent, and we try hard to support her. But when we're not getting the same response back, that's a problem for us. I have tried. I can't be around Dr. Feagins one-on-one. The first time I've interviewed with her one-on-one, it ended up in a negative email to the media. I think some of y'all seen it. To the media, to the governor, to Mark White. It was bashing us, and it was just me and her. So the conversation that was in that email was only between me and Dr. Feagin. How did Mark White know? How did the governor know? How did media know about the conversation when it was just between me and her? So that's why I had to stop meeting with her one-on-one, and I sent everything email so that nothing would be misconstrued.
Okay, so she did say last night, you two are the only ones that don't meet. My question now, just to wrap it up, you hear the push from the community. Will you reconsider to put things on a discussion board, to talk things out, to, I guess, you all are new, you all haven't been through the board member training. The superintendent, she's new, she's never been a superintendent before. Can you all grow and learn together? Are you all willing to do that now?
At this point, it's no hope. her comment last night downgrading one of the board members was disrespectful and distasteful. And I didn't appreciate it in none of the boards.
What was that comment?
I don't remember the whole full comment, but I do know that she downgraded one of the commissioners last night on the floor. Even in the moment that we're trying to, terminate her, she still had this arrogance where she's still disrespecting the board.
So when the questions that are all on social media, when she started speaking for the first time in the meeting, you, Otay, and Murphy got up and walked out. Did you all hear what she said? Or was that intentional?
No, I came right back. I walked out because I was frustrated. So I didn't go far. I just walked at the corner there. So I heard all of her explanations and why, she gave explanations, but those explanations were not accurate. But I heard them. I came right back and sat down. So I was only gone like 3 minutes, not even quite 3 minutes, but I wasn't out the hallway. I was right there on the end. So I heard everything that she said. I was just trying to get myself together so that I can stay in control of myself and of the situation at hand.
So what's next?
We move to the next stage, which means we go back, we try it again on January 14th.
And you're standing strong?
I'm standing strong on my stance. Yeah.
Okay. And what is your stance?
My stance is I want her gone.
Okay.
That's my stance, and that's it. I have a right to my opinion. They don't see what we see. They don't go through what we go through. It is frustrating on this side of the fence when we can't get things through, when we can't communicate, when we keep telling our superintendent, you have to sign these contracts. You got to get these MOUs in. You have to meet with stakeholders, and she won't do it.
Okay, again, just to understand her title, she's like the CEO. These things may go in her office, but she does not handle everything by herself. She has a team. Mm-hmm. So are you all willing to understand that portion?
No, we understand that she has a team, mm-hmm. but she has a team that also need to communicate with her so she can get it back to us.
Can that be a part of the discussion or the conversation? Well,
it has been. In the future meetings we've had on the floor, we did talk about that. If we can go back and look at some of the meetings, we talked about it got to get to the board. You got to tell us what's going on. In her contract, it states she has to communicate with the board, either personal, verbal, email, or text. Whatever she's doing, we have to know. When she books appointments or she books events, the board has to know. We don't know until last minute.
Okay, last question. Let's go ahead and wrap this up. Mm-hmm. What is one thing you would like the community to know after last night? What is one thing you wish you could have conveyed or you want to convey now? What is that one thing?
I wanted them to see the big picture. Everything, my mom used to always tell us, everything that glitters is not gold. Don't believe everything you hear and don't believe everything you see. You have to do your research and know for a fact what's going on. And they didn't do research. They just went off of what they heard.
A few of the board members that I spoke to said they didn't know anything about that resolution. From McKissick to Garcia.
I'm going to say, I already know you who talked about. Those are only two.
Right. They said they didn't see and superintendent said she didn't know anything about this either.
All of us were sent together. It was sent, we found out Sunday night. So we all knew. She can't send anything to one board member and not send it to the rest. So if we got it Sunday, we all got it Sunday. Mm-hmm. We all did. That's protocol. We all got it. So the story that they told on the floor, it was totally different. Because, now, here we go. I'm glad you asked me. Dr. Feagins stated that somebody told her that she was being terminated. But then she turned around and say she didn't get the email. So how would you know you was being terminated? Because you said somebody told you. She said she didn't know. On the floor, she said she didn't know anything about it. But then in one of y'all interviews, she said somebody told her.
Specifically, how do you know that everyone got the email?
What happens is when Joyce sends it out to one, it goes to all.
Are you all on a collective email?
We all on a collective email, but what she did was she did call us all one at a time.
Do you know that for sure? Or did she CC everyone?
No, we got personal phone calls.
Okay, so how do you know that McKissick or the superintendent got the phone call?
Now, here's the thing. Joyce made sure that she called everybody Sunday night. If she didn't get to them, she got to them first thing Monday morning. Mm-hmm. We still got 24 hours.
Okay. But how do you know it was an email? That's the question. Because if McKissick said she didn't receive it, Garcia said she didn't receive it.
No, ours was phone calls.
Y'all's were
We all got phone calls.
not an email.
No, we got phone calls. All of us got phone calls about it. And then she told us we had a printout on Monday.
So where did the email on Sunday come in at?
We didn't get an email on Sunday.
Okay.
No, we didn't get it. We got a phone call.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we had, a phone call.
All righty.